Hey you! Do you like Starloss? Do you like dice? Of course you do. Now come here. I got something to show you.
Starlost Seas is officially partnering with Dice Goblin to help bring more dice to more tables. How are we doing that? Well, Dice Goblin is currently preparing to run their first Kickstarter to produce their very first line of unique dice. And can we just say, these are some good looking dice. But that's not all. If you sign up for the Kickstarter mailing list by going to the link down in the description below or by going to dicegoblin.co.uk/Starlost, you can get a Starlost exclusive 20% off coupon for everything in the Dice Goblin store. Think of all the dice and what you could do with them. Roll some nat 20s, roll some nat 1s, take the dice out on a date, put them in your mouth. Disclaimer, don't put the dice in your mouth. We really don't want to get sued. Feed your ever-growing collection as you ask yourself, why? Why do I keep doing this? The dice have overtaken my home. My dog is now made of dice. I don't even play that many D&D games. What have I done? Where did I go wrong in life? But who cares about that? Look at the cute characters for the Kickstarter dice. So sign up for the mailing list for the Dice Goblin Kickstarter today by going to dicegoblin.co.uk/Starlost and get yourself some cool dice. And thank you to Dice Goblin for making this video possible. And without further ado, enjoy the rest of the episode.
Hello everyone, welcome to Starlost Seas. I'm Crowley, and I'm your DM, and this is the party. This is our first session after 50.
Pulse is panicking, he doesn't have a coffee.
Pulse has reset his wave meter. He won't wave again for...
This man will be right back.
This man will do anything to not wave at the camera.
He's leaving! This is worse! Like, he's not even on camera anymore!
It's gonna just get progressively worse to the point that, like, it starts, he's not here, and then he walks into the background of my camera. Like, hi guys!
I thought you were gonna say he doesn't come in until like 5 minutes after the session started.
No, we go big here.
The last time.
I'll start the recap. He was there. He knows what happened.
No,
anyways, session 50. It started with everyone helping the evacuation down by the lake in Sanctuary, as you all had... I mean, you all basically lost the war against Starlost Twink. But luckily, with Twink negotiating with him, you had managed to get it so he wasn't going to destroy the city. He turned on the Empirical forces, sending them into retreat, and he was just going to roll his cannon into the island to use the ley line. And while you all assisted with the evac, Lotus flew around making sure everyone was cleared. Dolus made sure the ship was all set to go. Hickory assisted with shouting instructions and healing people, while Mara ferried people through teleport with plants to Twinktania. And at that time, Twink conspired with one frog, our good friend Gillian, who has been turned into an amphibian. That kind of rhymes. Weird. To take all of the other Gillians that were still present, currently possessing the bodies of elves he had assaulted in the Sanctuary Hospital. And he placed all of those aspects of Gillian's soul back into one body inside the frog, but he did it through a very unstable magical method, intentionally. Starlost Twink, rolled his giant cannon into Sanctuary, right past all of you, set himself up on the island, and began to charge it. You all prepared for combat, with the ship standing by to aid you if need be. Alina ferried Twink across the water, and there, Frog Gillian unleashed what can only be described as a definitely not a ripoff of a show like Dragon Ball Z Laser Beam, cutting this railgun of Starlost Twinks clean in two. And you all began combat as the magic from Frog Gillian surged out around you and seemed to link you all in almost a hive mind. And after combat, you did it. You killed another Starlost. Starlost Twink died. During the combat, Twink went into the unstable half-destroyed gun, disabled its core, but he was too late to stop it from siphoning up a bunch of energy from the ley line beneath, causing it to grow unstable, and the island you were on to rip away from the lake. You all jumped clear of the now floating island onto your airship, and watched as what remained of Sanctuary slowly tore itself to pieces and rose into the sky. The birds recognized that this was the planes reconvening even further with Vecnost's influence. The elemental plane of air has now begun to influence the material plane. You all took some time to rest on the ship, and that is when Twink made the error of telling Lorelei that the botanist he had met in the Westwood was named Vala. And for those who remember, Vala is the name of one of Lorelei's older sisters, who Lorelei had claimed they might encounter in the Westwood, and that she was, Lorelei put it, batshit insane and would kill all of you. And after she went into a bit of a paranoid breakdown and you all redispersed, now uncertain of where or what Vala would be doing, Mara headed down, recovered the big mamba that was near his bed almost magically, and as he regaled the story of the day to Plume, Plume confirmed that the big mamba was placed there by Vala herself, and that is where we ended the session. That is where we are going to pick up the session. Pulse, you are in the sleeping quarters. You just had a moment of, huh.
I want to dig through the big mamba, specifically the section where like we keep poison.
Okay. You start digging through it, and I mean, with all of your passives and with you and Twink hand selecting everything in this, you're not sure if it's just a bunch of stuff fell out during the combat and it getting caught in the cargo hold and everything, but there is stuff missing from every section of it. There is nearly half of all of the herbs in this are just gone. Poisons, tonics, healing, everything. Like, it is like, but you have no way of knowing if it was jostled and it fell out or what was taken otherwise. I will say, make an investigation check for me.
Okay. Cool. 17.
Pretty good. You do note, because you are wanting to look specifically at poisons, that poisons also, you know, a lot of them are gone, as with everything else. But there is one entire kind of plant that is just completely gone. Not even like parts of it are gone. It's a kind of hemlock.
Plume, did you see if she dug through this?
Oh, no, not really.
Not really.
She, like, sort of skipped in here and put it down, and she waved, and I said hi, and then she left. Why? Are we not good with her? Did she rob us? Did she fucking rob us?
He, like, flies down to the bag.
I don't know, to be honest. There's a lot of missing stuff in here that I wasn't exactly, you know, I should start keeping a list, to be honest. But, like...
Oh, yeah. Like an inventory.
Actually, Plume, while I have you, do you mind making a list while I go look around?
I gotta warn you, my handwriting's really small.
It's a little bit rough. I'll deal with it. I'll try my best to...
I can start counting it if you want.
Yeah, that'll work.
Thank you. Okay, awesome.
He flies down into the bag and he just starts rattling around, and then he flops back out, like his head pops out of all of the herbs. He goes,
oh, hang on. 1 second. There's a thing at the front of the ship that I think you should go look at.
Okay.
It's a surprise.
Okay.
okay. And he starts digging again. Like his little pixie legs are sticking out the back as he just is rummaging through everything.
I'll head to the front then.
It's a birthday cake.
So
Happy birthday, Mara!
I remember the birds were up top, sort of mingling, as was Hickory. Twink, you were Ooh,
It's fixing Lorelai's door.
fixing Lorelai's door. That's right. So yeah, so Twink is preoccupied, but you'll see why like Mara come marching out and like walk out toward the front.
Hickory is without a doubt probably more focused on our conversation with Granny at this point.
Fair.
I'll head
Trying to get
over.
him to, like, come over.
Lotus and Dolus come over. Hickory is deeply enthralled in a conversation with Orlashna, and you can't see Twink from where you are.
Okay.
Hi.
Oh, wait, come over here to the front where I assume that's where like nobody is, right?
Yeah, it's pretty unoccupied at the moment.
Okay, cool.
What's happening?
I think I can confirm that she's here. Vala?
Oh,
Oh,
Apparently, no. I have an interesting idea how to find her. She did take this very specific plan. But we'll see if that works out. For now, though, just know that she apparently had her hands on the big mamba, and she took it to my room. Just kind of like sat it there. Bloom as a witness to that.
okay.
So just be very wary.
okay. Well, I've been talking to people with Dolus, so like I've kind of been taking a mental note of like all the new people that are on the board or on the ship. I guess it is on the board. On board, not on,
On
the
board. Yeah, there.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah.
I want to describe to them like maybe like the potential like does the plant have like a distinct smell or anything like that?
So hemlock does not really have a distinct smell, but it does have a distinct taste.
The
It is
taste of
in-
poison.
So if you grind it up, you'd have to get it like up into your nose, and it wouldn't be like a good smell, but it's not really distinct. But the taste is incredibly bitter.
Yeah, just a thing to keep in mind. The thing with the specific plants, it's called hemlock. Very distinct taste. Very, you'll notice it as soon as possible. It's kind of like eating cilantro in a way.
Let's hope Aarakocra don't have the soap gene for cilantro.
Can I roll for soap gene?
Yeah, you know, let's roll for soap gene. Let's do rollies.
All right.
Okay.
What'd you roll?
I rolled an 8.
Well, the birds have the soap gene. Cilantro tastes like soap to them.
I remember Raiden put cilantro in our sandwiches. It was not good.
Tasted like soap.
Pulls
Yeah,
up
there's
the
like
Bar
a-
of Awakening.
Mara, you
You
are
still
not familiar
have
with the
that?
concept
Yeah,
of
I
the
was
soap
like-
gene. So you were like,
Oh.
what?
You still have that?
Yeah, it's just it's been in my bag. He's a little bit deformed, but that's okay.
He's a lot of bit deformed.
Mara,
And has lint on it.
can you roll a medicine for me?
Yeah. Cool. 26.
Goddamn right, you're really good at that. As you're talking about what it tastes like and everything, you're like, yeah. So it's not that. Then you remember what it does, and if you want to share it with the party, I can just DM you what it does because great.
I was about to ask while you are DMing him after we're done making fun of the Bear of Awakening. Is it is this plant, is it dangerous?
So, one big thing with hemlock, it'll cause
Okay.
paralysis and nausea.
Oh,
Yeah. But you'll be
Okay.
able to taste it.
well, okay. I don't know if it'll do
Obviously-
me a whole lot of good, but well, I mean, the taste is because she is magical, of magical descent. So couldn't she just use magic to change how whatever she put the hemlock in tastes, so that it doesn't taste bitter?
You know, that's a good point. That's a good point, actually.
So really, there's no way to be safe,
Unless
except
we eat
hoping
your
that she
bread.
didn't think about that.
I have
If you
an
taste
idea.
anything bitter, immediately spit it out.
I do have an idea that may or may not work, but
Okay.
for now, I gotta go head to the front of the ship.
What's
Or
at the
wait,
front
I
of the
gotta.
ship?
You know, I actually don't know. Boom told me to come up here, so
Okay.
I'll look around.
You're looking around. You don't really notice anything at first as you're like looking. And then with your keen elf eyes, what do your elf eyes see? You notice something has become attached to the front of the ship, where like the figurehead would be. And you like lean around like what? And it is this shape of a of almost like a pixie, but with like bird features and talents. It is the scare pixie that that Plume was working on the other day. It is
Wait.
complete and has been attached to the front of the ship.
Did he show that to anyone else or just me?
Just
I
you.
don't remember. Just me. Yo, wait, look at that. Look at that.
Are those Dolos's feathers?
What is this?
I think so. I noticed Plume was making something. It was like a, kind of like a scarecrow.
Has someone
but-
made a? Is this going to curse me?
No. I don't think Plume would curse you.
Bloom made this.
Yeah. Little neat little decoration.
That's so cute.
It's cute.
Truly a master craftsman.
It looks good. Like you can tell what it's supposed to be. But it's made out of like twigs and your feathers.
Do you think I could ask him to make one of me?
I bet he would. I got him counting some stuff in the Big Mamba, but probably free afterwards, I imagine. Want to go down there?
Wait, isn't Froggy Gillian down there too?
Yeah.
Guess he's still knocked out.
Probably. If it's anything like our Lashna, might be out for a while.
Probably.
He
What do
doesn't need
y'all-
like water and stuff, right?
He probably does.
Yeah, if he's a frog, he probably does. At least like dampen him a little bit.
Back
Well, we'll
over
get to that when we get to that.
Okay.
towards the rear of the ship, Arlashna has finished explaining to Hickory the basics of like what a Kalashtar biologically is and how you function. You know, the stuff that you could read, the stuff that you could read in the D&D manual that explains what Kalashtar are.
The stuff that I wrote a lot of notes for
Yeah.
cryo.
She ends up going over the stuff that I should read more than I do. She basically goes over like the basics of mostly like biological and ability function, and then she's like, and so you're getting to sort of a lull in the conversation. She's like, to be honest with you, Kalashtar are unheard of. I haven't seen one in thousands of years. The fact that you and Martin both are Kalashtar is concerning.
But I don't think I was born this way.
No, I think you are a false Kalashtar, so to speak. You see, as I explained, there is a spirit normally attached to Kalashtar that changes their body, mutates them. But in your case, you and your brother are serving as each other's spirits. You're each other's quarry when you are asleep.
Right. What happened to them?
well, nothing has happened to them. You see, their spirits exist outside of all that is known, all that they have no physical being on this or any plane that can realistically be accessed by us. They're in a place of dreams that exists outside of time and space.
Right.
Some call it the dark.
The dark?
Dreaming.
That sounds more foreboding than it should.
The dark is only scary because that is what you've grown to know. In dreams, dark is nothing but thoughts yet to be made into. And that's all that Kori are. They're thoughts. And so when they attach to a living being, typically at birth or by genetics or sometimes through rituals, they become more. And that is typically where Kalashtar are born. I assume that you are functionally a Kalashtar because when one of you is asleep, they are outside of time and space as the Kori are.
So you think when one of us isn't here, we're in the dreaming dark?
That is where all dreams go. That's where they all come from. Sometimes the nightmares or good things that happen to you in your dream, they're tricks played on us by the Kori.
Right. It just doesn't make sense. I mean, we're something different now, and time didn't do it.
I think time did it. I think time just did not do it intentionally.
Right.
Because of your intervention with time and their hands of time, you not only did to them what gods long ago did to Vecnost, made them physical, but in turn you, just like the gods, have removed yourself from his influence. Honestly, this is fabulous for me to know. It gives me magnanimous insight into how the Starloss function with Vecnost. It's good. It's good to know.
So we're kind of like them?
Time and space are interesting. They are different and the same. And to be honest with you, I don't think I know enough. I don't think anyone alive knows enough to really explain how they are connected into one. Even Fairmont, in all of his studying, probably couldn't tell you the strange ploys that it all ekes upon our everyday. But yes, I think in some way you are a parallel to the Starloss.
Right.
Just as Vecnost somehow takes part of them and puts it outside to empower them, you have been separated from the concept of the normal flow of time. At least when one of you is asleep.
I'm sure it'd help if you were able to talk to them, whatever they might be, but time did us a favor. They pulled Lotus out.
Yes. No, no offense, but dabbled in your memory. So, also,
Yeah.
from what I can gauge, I'm not sure that time can reasonably interact with people other than you without some other barrier of entry being passed. For Lotus, it was death. Maybe if you give him, ironically enough, time, he'll be able to circumvent this. But for now, I'd recommend not trying to get him to communicate with anyone else because he might destroy the world as we know it.
Depending on how much you dabbled, yeah, They.
You really should just give it a name.
I should. I don't know. What do you name something that affects everything all at once?
Well, we named it Vecnos, so I'm not sure what you'll name yours. Well, I didn't name it Vec. Someone named it. Who named it? Never thought of that. Regardless.
The timeline's unstable. From what it said.
Well, don't mess with time, follow its instructions. It is time, so I'm sure sure everything will work out. Mainly because I have no idea what else to tell you, because this is far beyond my domain of thought before today.
This is complicated, I know, but I don't know if I'm getting my powers from where I used to.
See, the power that gods give you has always been a strangely fickle thing. That's why the gods so rarely intervene here in Starloss. After their intervention with Vecnos, I think that they enjoy existing away from us, watching. You prayed to Bahamut, a god who, in all physical forms, was slaughtered eons ago by Vecnos. And yet he still was able to channel power through you. Because they are beyond our concepts of reality.
Vecnos killed Bahamut?
Oh, yes. At least whatever form Bahamut took back then, but again, gods. A little beyond our understanding.
I guess I just don't know how. I pray to one thing and now it seems like I'm getting it from somewhere else.
Well, Bahamut may still be listening. There's no reason to imagine he's not. Maybe he just knows he doesn't need to give you power because you're getting it from time.
Maybe. This all got so confusing so quickly.
You'll find life tends to do that. Hits you like a carriage, as some say.
So then as far as theories go, now that we know what we know, the only way for me and Doc to ever exist separately is to get the hands back to time.
Which time tried with your brother's lovely death over and over and over, and did not work. To be honest with you, if the concept of time itself can't figure out how to fix this, I'm afraid I may not be the best. I can look into it, and I can ask friends of mine up north to look into it. They're the same I've asked about looking into Iliak's body and all the sorts, but even some of the greatest scholars are hard-pressed for this sort of thing.
I appreciate it. For now, we have bigger fish to fry, or I guess more immediate fish.
As Twink says, priorities.
Do you think you would be able to find someone who's pretending to be someone else?
Think right now, if I tried too much magic, I might pop like a balloon.
And that doesn't sound very fun.
No. I can certainly attempt it if you'd like, but the accuracy of it may be questionable.
No, just...
I might cast the spell and determine that she's somewhere within a mile of us, which probably wouldn't be a great garner of information.
Just be careful when you're eating.
No offense, but whatever poison the little elf can conjure up, I think I'll be fine.
Okay. Thank you. Ashna.
Of course. And, I was going to say call me Awful, but... No, I think that was Awful's last hurrah. I think Arlashna's good to stay.
I think it's good. It's a sign of progress. It's like Doc, cutting off the end of his name. It gives him an identity he makes for himself.
It is ironic that the spirits that possess Kalashtar are called Quarry, and your last name is Corey. Maybe fate plays more of the hands than many of us are willing to admit. Maybe your parents just had great luck with me.
Maybe so. For now, I think we all really need a rest.
Yes.
But, do you know someone on the ship who might be able to change some of this?
Your awkwardly fitted elven armor, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. There are plenty of craftsmen who were saved by you. I'm sure one of them is somewhere here and can work on all of your gear for you.
Great.
I
And,
will offer to the others after I find them.
Okay. Thank you again. I'm gonna see if I can find anybody who can help me out. Hickory kind of goes to hug her and then remembers how Illis reacted and just closes her arms and walks away.
You close your arms and turn to walk away, and Arlashna pulls you into a hug and pats you. And she steps back and just Illis just doesn't like touching.
Noted. Thanks.
She never has. I used to hug her as a little thing, and she would get so squeamish.
Just the prim and proper, I guess.
Everyone should hug their grandmother. She turns away, look out into the distance.
Oh! Hickory goes off to go and see if she can find a craftsman and somebody to work on her clothes.
Okay. Twink, you are finished repairing the door.
Yes.
You crank the last bolt tight, and you're ah. Then you hear stomping on the other side of it. And then a hand grabs it, and you see it almost forcefully open, and then just opens normally. Thank you. I'm very hungry, and the only food I trust on the boat right now is the one that your Arakakra made.
You should probably go find them then.
You should go find him before I throw you off my ship.
No, that's
And then-
okay.
Yeah?
Your sister owes me 32,000 gold, and I run away.
No, no. Hang on. You don't run away.
You want to bet?
I mean, I rolled a 19 plus 4.
Yeah, but I'm casting Expeditious Retreat on myself as I run away.
Alright, you cast Expeditious Retreat, she grabs at you, and you feel like a hand, pinch the back of your shirt, and a little strip of cloth just, tears off your shirt as you run away, and she's just... and then the door slams again.
I hear a
It
slam,
does-
I turn it, and I inspect to make sure I don't have to fix it again.
You're halfway down the stairs, you stop and you turn, and it sits there for a second. Does not fall. Your
Yes.
craftsmanship was great.
Yes. Yes.
You rush off.
I continue running out of fear.
You just run all the way to the other end of the ship. You guys watch as Twink comes sprinting up to you, Mara and the birds.
Oh, hi.
Hello.
She's still behind me?
No, but Vala might be.
She owes me money. I'm fine.
She's on the ship.
Perfect. I can get my money.
Yeah, who was it? Plume found out that she had a hold of the mamba, so she definitely has some poison. Although, the type of poison she has, it kind of paralyzes you.
Huh?
It's got a really like strong taste.
We should find her.
Let's do that. And I'm going to I'm going to I'm
You
gonna
sure
cast,
are.
Yeah. I'm gonna cast detect poison and disease. See if I can find anything with that.
Is that how that works?
I don't think it is.
I don't think that's how that works.
Or the
Let me
try.
double check.
I don't think it's a ranged
I mean,
thing.
you would
Hang
would
on.
know how that works.
You can sense the presence and locations of poisons, poisonous creatures, and diseases. But it doesn't specify poisonous plant.
But if it's already been made,
But if it's already been made, then you'd be able to sense it. So if
That's
you
fair.
want to try and cast it, you can. I just want you to know that if it is still in plant form, you will not detect it.
That's fine. I'll at least give it a shot.
You cast it, and you do detect some poison very close by, because Dolus still had one vial of the crap that Gillian drank. So that is in his pocket right next to you.
Wait, that's poison? Huh. Okay.
What?
The stuff in your pocket, Dolus. The stuff. You have something in your pocket. That's kind of poisonous. I can see it.
He has a lot of things in his pocket.
I'm gonna reach into my pocket, kind of cautiously, and then I feel the vial, and I'm like, oh, this?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh yeah, talking about poison, Lorelai wanted you to make her some food. Not with the poison.
You say that I'm just looking at the vial.
I got 10 minutes though, so I'm gonna look around.
I'm with you.
Okay.
Oh, me too.
Okay.
Unless you
I
want-
guess I'll
y'all
go.
want to come then?
No, it's
Let's
alright.
go.
Do we? I don't need. We don't need this anymore, do we?
Might as well keep it.
Yeah, keep it. I could do something with it probably. I'll take it.
Just pocket it. Oh, okay. Put it out of my pocket, and I'll put it in Mars. And I guess I'll go over to Lorelai's quarters while they search. Oh no.
yeah, I think we lost.
I think the
Cryo.
answer's yes. I think the answer's yes. Yeah.
All right, we'll pause there until we get him back.
It is storming here. So
Yeah, and that house does not do well with storms. Cryo, the floor is yours. Apologize for your
power's back.
sins. Yeah,
I'll
apologize for your
never. I didn't make that transformer explode.
You did it. You did it.
I didn't kill
We
Optimus Prime. That's not
unionized
my
against
fault.
you, and you turned out the power.
To show that I'm still in charge, despite the union. I'm just like Bezos. Anyways,
Did
know,
you just compare yourself to Jeff Bezos?
I was about to say, when I think about Cryo and who I would compare him to, the first person who comes to mind is Jeff Bezos.
Absolutely.
Jeffrey Bezos. Anyways,
Copyright strike.
okay,
I am
I
heading to
said like 2
Lorelai's
seconds.
quarters.
You're going to Lorelai's quarters,
Yes.
while everybody else is going to look for Vala.
Yes.
I'm
So-
going to look for clothes.
It's true. You're doing that in the background while everybody else is Scooby-Dooing around looking for Vala. So you get to. I mean, are you gonna knock?
Yeah, just Lorelai.
Oh, thank God it's you. If it wasn't you, I was gonna kill whoever is behind the door. She just opens the door. Hello. Wait.
Hello.
Who did we fight in Shadestep in the promenade?
In the promenade, we fought me.
Okay, come in.
Okay. I'll come in. I was told you wanted some food.
Yes, and you can magically make it, so I don't have to worry about it being poisoned and paralyzing me or turning me into goo or setting me on fire.
Right. Well, I did. I usually, I will preface, I can create any food that you would like me to. It usually comes out a little bit bland tasting, but I did. I feel different about my casting since everything that happened just now in Sanctuary, and I have been training in the kitchen with Walk, so there is a chance that this will come out better than normal. So, what kind of meal would you like prepared for you? Anything you can imagine.
Anything. Oh god. A medium rare ribeye steak with a baked potato and no, that'll do for now.
Okay.
We'll see how that tastes.
All right. So when you say medium rare, what exactly does that mean?
Dolus, have you ever had steak?
I think so.
God fucking
No, I have.
damn it.
I've had it. No, I definitely have had steak. I have. I remember now. I have had steak. Okay.
If you make some weird block.
No, I know what steak is.
Okay. It is steak that is still pink in the middle. Like it has been cooked to the point that it is hot and cooked, but is still a little bloody in the middle.
All right, I can do that.
Okay.
Anything to drink? You have a cup? A
She like gestures to just a cask of some alcohol on the table.
Okay. I'm going to hold out my hand, and then I'm going to wave it in front of her desk. I'm going to cast Create Food and Water.
Can you roll 20 for me?
20.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that's 17.
Oh, wait a minute, is that the uwu dice?
It's not the Uwu dice.
Bro, you told me any 20 roll.
Lied to us!
You lied to me.
Sorry, man.
You cast Create Food, and you make a medium rare steak steaming on the plate next to a baked potato. Okay, it looks right. She pulls out one of her knives and flips it around and just cuts really cleanly. It's very tender. She just stabs it in. Still looks right. Holy shit.
What does it taste like?
It tastes like a really good fucking steak.
Doesn't taste
She
like
cuts
bread?
into it. Does it taste like what?
Bread?
No.
Oh.
Do you
thank
think
goodness.
steak tastes like bread?
No, well, no. But my food sometimes tastes like bread. It's magical. Don't worry about it.
Starts cutting into the steak and just tearing at it.
Okay, well, I'm glad you like the food.
It's good. It's real good. She then takes a slice of the potato and eats it, and she's like, Okay, I get the taste like bread thing.
Oh, okay.
The potato tastes kind of like bread. The steak is great, though. You did good on the steak. She like cuts it.
All right, I'll keep working on it.
I didn't tell you, but we played rollies just now, and I got 17, and you got 17.
Oh, okay.
So the steak was fabulous, but the potato tasted like bread.
Nice. Cool. Hell yeah. Right, well,
Everything good out there for like the hour that you haven't, talked to me?
Yeah, I suppose kind of contemplates whether or not he should confirm to her that Vala is on this ship. Just like, there have been developments.
What kind of development? She
Just like an audible gulp.
stabs her knife like into the steak and just. What kind of developments, Dolus?
So, according to Mara, Vala is definitely on this ship.
God fucking damn it! She like pushes her plate away. Fuck! Just like smashes her head down on the table. Okay.
However, also according to Mara, he has some sort of magical ability that says if she makes some kind of poison, he'll be able to detect it.
Okay. Druids. Right. Fuck. Okay. I hate my life. I hate my life. I hate my life. I hate my life.
Gonna go now.
Yeah. No. Do that. Go. It's Illis out there. Can you send Illis in?
Okay, enjoy your meal. Slowly open the
backs
door.
away.
Close the door and like speed
Like,
walk
as
away.
you're about to close the door, you watch her like go back to the steak and just like aggressively cut into it, like fucking stupid, like rip.
Illis about to get it, bro.
Where's Illis? Is she on the
Up on the
deck?
back, still like looking out at the forest behind you. You guys are far from Sanctuary now. You can't really see it floating in the distance anymore.
I'll go up to her. Illis,
Oh, hello.
sorry to interrupt.
Fine.
Lorelei was calling for you. She's quite angry. So
Why is she calling for me if she's angry?
I don't know. She said send Illis in.
Okay.
Maybe she wants to share the very good steak that I just made for her.
Don't eat meat.
Maybe she wants to share the very good potato I just made for her.
Oh, potatoes would be good. She like just walks down casually.
Is it like she walks
Confronting-
away and Dolus like grabs the rail? She's like, okay, all right. Where's Alina? Go look for Alina.
Okay.
Can come back to the others.
All right. You're all going looking for Vala.
Yeah.
How are you attempting to hunt down Vala? What is your process?
Well, I think the first process is just to like cover as much ground on the ship as possible.
Lotus
And then-
did spend some time talking to each of the people that are now on the ship.
That's
So
true.
She has like a memory of like.
She does know every person on the ship.
Twink is literally just walking up to everyone and asking if they're Vala.
Mara, you're sitting there and you're like, maybe we start front to back and then da 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 da. Lotus can talk to people and Twig just walks up to someone just, are you Vala?
What the fuck are you doing?
No, that's Hubert.
But it could be Vala. We don't know.
Are you Vala, Hubert?
No, I'm Hubert.
I don't think Vala could.
I'm gonna run away from
Yeah.
them.
You run away from them.
Yeah.
Oh, bye. I mean, you won't get far and faster than you.
Don't need. And I chase after him with my expeditious retreat.
You run. Mara, you're like running down the stairs like, God, I just gotta get away from them. And Tweak is right next to you, just, where are you going?
Keep running.
Oh, there they go.
Mara, you attempt to open the hatch to the cargo hold to get away from Twig, forgetting that it is currently like vacuum sealed from the air. You get it up a foot. Twig, you kind of like almost get sucked in, and then it clams closed.
Ah, fuck! What was that? Don't do that! That was no!
Stop giving away my position.
What do you mean? You're not being the most stealthy.
I could be the most stealthy.
What are you even doing?
I'm detecting poison.
Why don't we just find the plants?
I mean, we could, but like, I have magic up for 10 minutes. Let me do this first.
Okay, well, what type of plant is it?
It is called hemlock.
Oh,
Heard of
yeah,
it?
I remember helping you put that in the bag.
Hmm.
I'm gonna cast Locate Object on Hemlock.
Oh.
Okay.
Smart. Modern problems require modern solutions.
Twink, you cast Locate Object, and you're searching for Hemlock. Let me double check Locate Object here real quick. Seems pretty cut and dry. Not gonna lie.
Wonder what the spell Locate Object does.
As long as it's within 1,000 feet of you. All right. You detect that there is hemlock nearby, straight up.
There.
Let's go. Run.
Expeditious retreat.
Twink bolts
Grab
past
onto
you.
him. I'm trying to grab onto him.
Drag you?
Yes.
Twink is small and super fast right now, and you just miss the grab.
Are there stairs near me that I hit or anything?
No, you stumble a little, but you make
Technically,
it
I
up
don't
the
have
stairs.
Expeditious Retreat anymore. I use Locate Object, so he'd be able to grab it.
You know. Okay. Fair enough. You grab Twink, who was just running at normal speed. Twink, your movement is immediately stopped as Mara, like, bear hugs you, basically.
What?
Oh, I was expecting you to, like, drag me. Let's just go. Wait, should we be stealthy? Huh.
Yes.
Pass out Trace.
Lotus, you were following them, right?
Yeah, I watched them zoom. Just like, oh, okay, bye. Okay, bye, Huber. I'm gonna go follow them.
Okay, goodbye.
Bye. Skip after them.
You skip off after them, and just as you're skipping to the top of the stairs, they both come up the stairs, making no sound with their footsteps. Twink, it is, as you come up onto the top deck, still above you. You look up at the balloon.
Up there.
What?
It's where the hemlock is.
Oh.
Dolus is currently on the top deck as well.
Yantola, so you see them converging at the top of the stairs, not too far below you.
Lotus.
Points up.
Carry me up there.
Oh, let's carry me up there.
What? Where? Where are we going?
The hemlock's up there.
The hemlock's up in the balloon?
Apparently.
Hickory, as they were running up and down, you talking to an elf in the sleeping quarters, watch them sprint down. Twink almost get sucked out of that hatch, and then them run back up.
So,
Very
did
Scooby-Doo-like.
I find who I'm looking for? Like, okay. Is that our guy?
Yeah, you got it all situated.
She's like, I'll be back and we can get all this fixed. For now, I think my friends have lost their minds. And so she slinks out after them.
Okay, well, if we're going up,
Wait, before we go up,
okay.
What are you guys
we
doing?
need to stop the ship.
Oh,
Wait, why?
because if we go up,
We will
the
be
ship
left
is going to go
behind.
forward.
Guys,
Hello.
why
Found
did
the,
I
we,
see...
found, we found the hemlock.
We found the hemlock.
There's missing hemlock?
Yeah.
Eggled leans over the railing, and he's just like, "What the hell is happening?
Eggle,
Hey,
I don't
stop
know.
the ship.
Oh, wait, I forgot you
Can
weren't
I
there.
stop the ship?
Yeah, just stop it.
While she's like this, you want me to suddenly stop the ship?
It'll make her
Yes.
feel better.
Or
It's
worse.
for her own good.
It could.
Yes.
It could make her feel worse.
Roll persuasion with advantage.
Which one?
Twink.
Ooh, oh, Twink. Okay. I think he's good at those.
That's a natural 20.
Eggle just like
Which is great because I rolled a 2 on the first one.
Power of friendship.
Power of pride.
Let's go.
Let's go. This month, this episode comes out in June or July.
I know she won't kill me, so if this goes bad, I'm sorry. And he just he just taps the slow button repeatedly, and the ship
She won't
like
kill
starts.
me, so
She will definitely kill me, so get me up there now.
Do I stop it all the way or just slow it down?
All the way, all the way, all the way.
And the ship to a stop.
Grab Twink. And
Everyone kind of does a little rock like you do in like a roller coaster when it comes to a stop. Like it's not painful or jarring, but there is a noticeable like. Everyone, there's a lot of like all over the ship and murmuring as Lotus picks Twink up.
I'll grab Mara and just start levitating up.
His wings don't unfold. He just grabs you and starts floating.
I
Well, this is kind of cooler.
Really?
Yeah.
Never a dull moment with these guys. Never.
Felix and Frankie walk up to either side of you, Hick, and they're just like, "So what is up with this?"
Apparently, it's a hemlock in the balloon. I think.
Is that bad? I don't know what hemlock is.
Do I know what hemlock is?
No.
I don't either. Think it's a gun.
There's
Wait,
a gun in the balloon?
do
What?
Do I hear Hickory talking?
Oh, yeah.
Just,
Mara looks down to you and Dulce's arm is just like, shh.
Hell yeah.
Everyone's like gathering around, looking up at you all as you go up the balloon. Twink, you're like going around it and you detect it. Still, you're like near the top.
Keep going, Lotus. It's towards the top.
I'm just following.
So you get all the way to the top, and you haven't been to the top of the balloon before. And so you all see now, the top of the balloon has its own sort of like one big wood beam that runs the length of it with like all the ropes that wrap around it latch onto. And Twink, right around like a center of knots, you detect hemlock.
There.
fly towards it.
You fly towards it. This is the beam. Twink, as you look at it, the engineering, you can tell immediately that it can like pull open in spots, seemingly for like maintenance in some sort.
Oh, that bitch. No way.
Do you want to grab it? Is it in there?
You reach in and you pull open the thing, and there's a rush of air out of the balloon as you open the maintenance like latch.
Trying to look in.
Like a it's like a big fan blowing in your face. Just You look in, it's the inside of the balloon underneath this like wood latch.
Is there anything in it?
So you look in, you see some stuff spinning around. It's almost like there are tiny little wind cyclones generating inside the balloon magically. And as you're looking in, a plant flies out and smacks you in the face. And with your spell, you know that hemlock has flown out and smacked you in the face.
I have it.
Yay!
There is more drifting around in there.
How did it get in here?
You look, there are other plants too, definitely in there, like plenty.
Well, I mean, she should be pretty easy to locate now. We just see who went up on the balloon. It's kind of hard to do that secretly.
Well, no, it could also be like these just managed to make their way in here during the battle.
Possibly.
I'm sure it doesn't hurt to ask.
Back to asking.
Wait, what
I'm
other
friends
plants
with
are in
the
there?
person of the ship.
Wait, I'll go and just look.
You look in
have one bullet
again.
in your face.
You open it and just. It's like opening the door on a really windy day and suddenly just boom in your face. And you see dozens of different types of plants just all flying around in there. Make an investigation check with disadvantage.
Opium.
Because you have a bunch of air blowing directly into your face.
11.
11. You cannot make out exactly what plants are in there.
Wait, do I? So I see because I got Mara up there. I can see that his face is getting battered with wind.
Uh-huh.
Can I take my mask off of the side of my face and put it in front of Mara? So
you
he
wanna
can-
you wanna give
Yeah.
Mara the mask?
yeah, to just
Would
wear.
it
so he can
still
look
be
in.
disadvantaged because the mask?
That's on
Mask is
perception.
perception,
It
not
is
investigation.
perception.
Yeah, but I mean, they're still looking around.
It's
if
on
you-
perception.
If you want to attempt again with a straight roll, I'm not gonna say whether or not it is going. The chances of success have improved or not.
Okay, I'll do that then.
All right, Mara, you suddenly have one of the bird's masks put on your face, and you're like,
Oh.
"Oh,
It smells horrible.
Oh
Does.
God. Have you showered?
No, but I threw up in there.
What?
I threw up.
He started. Oh my
You-
god, this bar started
you
dry
can-
heaving.
The beak kind of separates the wind, so you can see in there. So if you want to make a straight perception or not perception investigation check,
I'll go for it. 6.
Copium 6.
the smell combined with you squinting through the lenses and the weird fit on your face, because Dolus is like a smaller person than you, and all of it has feathers. Like his whole facial structure is different. It's custom made for him. You can't determine what plants are in there.
Oh,
If anything, you're less sure now than you were before.
get this off of me.
Okay. I could drop you in there if you'd like.
Yeah, please.
No, I will not be doing that.
Can you help me?
No.
These are important.
But you're not
These
getting
could be
those back.
important.
You're not getting those back.
Why not?
Because you're not getting back out if you go in.
Can I? Wait, does this not open the other side?
I mean, it can open and
You
be
drop
open.
into the balloon.
Yeah, I mean, like, can't I just push open?
It is a
you're
giant.
going
It's like
balloon.
20 feet deep, bro.
And it's a constant cyclone of things like flying.
It's
or
like
a tornado.
You know the wind tunnels that they put cars in to check their like those lateral. It's like that.
Is it? There's no like ladder or anything. Like,
No,
Yeah,
it
we
is like
open
it is like
a
it is
latch.
like
We
getting
just open a
dropped
flap.
into a big. It's like getting dropped into a balloon.
man.
I'm sorry.
All right.
Maybe
sorry.
well, actually, I don't know. One day.
Maybe one day you can get in the balloon, get your plants back, but that day is not today.
Opium.
Copium.
I'll be back.
You close the latch. You guys
Well-
coming down?
Yeah.
You guys come down. The entire like ship has congregated, including her door now open. A disheveled-looking Lorelei.
Lotus, don't take me down there. Take me somewhere
What
else. Take
kind
me
of
somewhere else. Take me
disheveled?
somewhere else.
What kind
go
of
start
disheveled
the
cryo?
You know what kind of disheveled.
Eggle, start the ship.
Eggle like really anxiously like glances back and then just. They told me
Hi,
to.
Lorelei.
They told me to.
Lorelei, for the record, I
Return
had
to your
nothing to do with
stations,
this.
everyone.
Like a bunch of the people who aren't from the ship were like, "Is everything okay? Like something wrong with the balloon?" Like that.
We
All
were
the
just
muttering.
doing a routine inspection.
Make
We
a deception
apologize.
check.
Oh, I'm good at those. No, I'm not.
No, I'm not.
That is a 16. No, plus 3, 17.
They all seem decently abated by that. Like, oh, okay, yeah, after the bat, yeah, that makes sense. They all sort of disperse, except the ones who are from the ship. So like Felix, Frankie, Lachlan, Your tiefling whose name is on my list, but I have forgotten.
It's okay. I wouldn't know them, so you don't have to name them.
Kayeda, I think.
Kayeda, thank you.
I just like next time we will inform you all. We just realized that we hadn't done one, and after everything
most
that
people have
happened-
already just left.
Okay, well, fucking all right. Bye, I guess.
The people on the ship, like from the ship, are still there looking at you with the like, that's definitely bullshit, like look on their faces.
I'll just look at them and just.
Felix and Frankie are like,
Hickory's looking at them, just like.
I'll go over towards Lorelei with Mara in tow.
she's like straightening herself and like brushes her hair up, and she's like, what was that about?
We found the hemlock.
Oh,
It was in the balloon, along with a lot of other plants.
you can go in the balloon?
Apparently. Very
It'd
windy
be-
in there.
well, you could go in. It'd be hard to get out, but it's very easy to put things in the balloon. They just sort of fly around. There's like a cyclone in there.
Ooh. Could be useful. Good
I
for
guess.
hiding things. Good for storing things. Ooh, do you think? That'd be cruel.
Okay.
Yeah?
Well, I was thinking if we had to, ever get information out of someone, we could throw them in there and then just throw a couple knives in and,
But then it would pop the balloon.
it's a
How
valid
s-
point. What if we just threw in like a bunch of ball bearings so they just kept getting bumped?
That seems like torture.
That is exactly what it would be, yeah. I'm a pirate. I have... If throwing someone into a balloon full of ball bearings is bad to you, I don't think I actually want to tell you this. Did you find
No.
our problem? No? No? Okay. Well,
But we found the problem's plan, I suppose you could say.
you found the problem's temporary storage container, is my assumption.
Yes.
Yeah, so...
And remove the most dangerous thing from there.
all of it? You like glance at Twink, who's like,
Most of it.
okay, well, got it. If we see anybody climb up on the balloon, something no one has ever done before today, we know that,
Yes. Kill
Got
them
it.
on the spot. Unless it's one of us.
Yeah, okay, actually, yeah, that works. Eggle, if you see anyone climb the balloon, just shoot them. He's like,
Wait, I got a few more minutes.
Hey,
My-
can we
my-
not
my-
shoot at the balloon?
Eggle, don't miss.
I don't, anyway,
I was gone for
Laura-
15 minutes. I was gone for 15 minutes and okay.
Felix
hold
and Frankie
on, I
are
got-
still with you, Hick, and they're like, this is interesting.
I got a few more minutes. Give me locations you could hide in.
Oh, I can do that.
Okay, let's go.
Okay,
I
I'm gonna
continue
bring you down
asking.
now.
You dropped me. I continue asking all the non-natives of the boat if they're Vala.
Cool. I'm gonna go back to looking for Alina.
Lorelei's like holding her face and like digging her fingers in as she watches Twink just walk up to people and go, "Are you Vala?" No. Okay. Are you Vala? Just like, I'm dead. I'm gonna die.
Are you Vala? You owe me money.
Yeah, that's
Hickory-
exactly what I'm going for here. Yeah.
Hickory is still a few feet away from Lorelei with Frankie and Felix, just like, if you kill them, will you spare me for having nothing to do with this?
She just steps back in and closes the door. Felix and Frankie are like, this is why we don't hang out with Twink.
I'm starting to get it.
You should hang out with us more often. You showed up with like all of us.
Yeah, I did. I don't know how I ended up here.
You want to play poker?
What are we betting?
Money.
I mean the buy-in.
Oh, 5 gold?
Okay.
The 3 of you head off to play poker.
Wait a minute. Hick, the cleric, gambling?
Hey, man.
It's all in good fun. She doesn't understand money.
That's also
That
true.
Yeah.
It's in the Bahamut Bible.
It's in the Bible.
The Bible.
The Bible. So, Lotus, you are
The Great Old Testament.
Lotus, you are flying Mara about
And I'm
to all of
showing
your
him
favorite hiding places.
All of them. And some of them are really good. I imagine.
Some of them are like
Imagine.
there are like ledges on the side of the ship that only she could get to and sit on. Like there are places like takes you to the back, like the 2 lamps that hang off the back of the boat, and she's like, I sit on these sometimes. I saw a pigeon do it one time, and I thought, hey,
Hey, I'm a pigeon, so like I should do it too.
I'm a little too tall for that.
Never know.
Next
You
spot.
transform- Okay.
you fly, you rapidly just ping-ponging all around the ship, darting past like everyone at least twice. And then finally you've gone through like all of your hiding spots. And Mara, you have not detected poison in any of them.
You can't tell anybody where my hiding spots are because then they won't become hiding spots. They'll become knowing spots.
She makes a fair point.
One more spot. Down to the cook area.
Okay, let's go.
The kitchen, if you will.
Yeah.
The galley,
cook
if you
area.
will.
The cook area.
You guys. Mara, we need to cook. You open the door to the galley. Walk is in there currently making food, and he immediately just points the knife at both of you. That he's like, oh wait, there's 2 of you. Okay. Fine.
Hi.
Buddy system, right? You've seen each other the whole time, right?
Yep. Just
Yeah.
detecting poison. Don't mind us.
You detect some poison under a cabinet behind Walk.
Is there rat poison back there?
It's fucking everything poison with how strong it is.
Oh. Wait. That doesn't seem... Wait. You keep other things in there?
Just pots and pans.
Oh. Probably okay then.
Yeah.
Wait, if you put poison and then pots and pans in the same drawer, then like... Isn't there something called like cross-contamination?
How could a cross contaminate something?
You make a good point. Okay, I
Nice.
think we're done here.
Be safe. Keep
Wait,
the food safe.
Hey. Did you get new spoons in the sanctuary?
No.
Neither did I.
Next place.
Next place.
you got hickories.
Well, I did get hickories, but
It's not a sanctuary.
yeah, it's not a sanctuary.
Wait, if I'm
It's a
not playing... Where am I playing poker if it's not in the galley?
Are you gonna... I mean, you'd be going down there while they're running around.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, I was gonna say, actually, as you guys go to leave, Felix, Frankie, and Hick enter.
Hi.
Hi.
No poison.
That's good. Yeah. Was that a
Yeah.
problem? Were we gonna be poisoned? That would be really bad. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And then Hickory's kind of standing there and is like, just for some reason, something hits her and she looks at him and goes, one at a time, starting with you. What did you get arrested for?
You got
Oh,
arrested?
we stabbed a guy.
Okay, I mean...
You.
I mean, we stabbed a guy.
Why did you stab him?
Hang on. I have this written down why they stabbed.
I also have this written down, I think.
Do.
Ray's just like, I'm
We
gonna
could
flex
just
my
say
notes.
He tells you the reason why they stabbed him.
Yeah.
Because he was an asshole.
All right, they're good.
Wait, are you trying to see if we're really us?
No.
Did someone sneak onto the ship? Is one of us Gillian? Oh shit, are you Gillian? I'm not Gillian, are you Gillian? I thought the frog was Gillian.
Gillian is the frog.
Why are we looking for if there's one who's not us? Also, that question wouldn't have worked. You would have to ask us when we're not next to each other.
You know? You both gave me 2 correct answers.
They both wave.
Separately.
But what if one of us guessed... What if Frankie guessed about stabbing a guy and I guessed about him being an asshole?
That's really all I know about you guys.
Yeah.
Wait! Oh god. I don't know which... One of you... Why did you reject the ring?
Oh. Frankie's like, I don't like your type.
They're good. They're good.
And then Felix is like, what? I'll explain it to you later.
Lotus, do you want to play poker? Mara? Hickory, increasingly uncomfortable with the fact she just outed her brother, like outed one of the brothers to the other.
Is poker the one that you taught me?
Yeah, actually.
Yes, you taught them Texas Hold'em.
Okay.
Except it's not called Texas Hold'em
No.
here because Texas doesn't exist.
The Parash Holden.
Yeah, we'll call it the Pay Rash Hold'em.
There are too many numbers. I got lost, so I actually don't remember a lot of the things you taught me.
It's okay. We cheat.
What?
I don't want to play poker with you guys. What?
It's okay. We expected you to cheat too.
What?
They pull out their deck and they just sit down.
Let me tell you about the time I died.
And sit down.
They're just
Hickory
like,
just-
yeah.
Hickory just kind of looks at Mara. What's happening?
Did you not get this feel?
No. You guys ran by the door. I was just trying to figure out how to get our clothes changed.
Oh.
And then
Watch
you
out
were
for
in
poison.
the balloon.
Just watch out for poison.
I know that much.
You are Hickory, right?
Is she mind links with Lotus? Yeah.
Are you sure?
She pulls up her sleeves. Tattoos are still there.
Are
What do
you
you-
sure?
She summons the moment.
Okay, you're Hickory.
You summon the moment, and Felix and Frankie are like, "Oh, you did that before too. What the fuck is that?" Like, they both are just.
She kind of looks at it. I think it's a sword.
Sick.
She just kind of flicks her hand and dismisses it.
You guys sit down and play poker while Lotus regales you all with the tale of her death.
I'm gonna go talk to a god or something.
What?
Mara walks off. Twink, what are you doing?
You know what I'm doing.
I don't
Asking everyone if they're Vala.
Oh, that's right.
All the non-airship members of their
Twink.
Vala.
You go through every single non-airship person. None of them are Vala, according to them.
Yeah, that checks out.
Dolus, you find Alina during Twink's Are You Vala?
Alina, excuse me.
She's down in the crew quarters, so you like go down and you're
Okay.
talking there, and she pulls her nose up out of her like notebook. She blinks a few times as like her eyes adjust, and she's like, yeah.
Are you all right?
I leaned really close into my notes because I got very focused.
You shouldn't do that. You need to fix your posture.
I'm a little discombobulated.
I'll just kind of like, is it we're in the crew quarters?
Mhm.
I'll sit like across from her, just like, is there anyone else here?
There are a few people like sleeping.
Okay, I'll just kind of lean in, just like.
While you are talking, Twink at one point comes in, shakes those people awake, and goes like, "Are you Vala?" And then they'd say no, and he leaves, and they go back to bed.
Okay, well after Twink leaves, I'm just like, do you know if you would be able to, magically identify something for me?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, and I'll like reach into my pocket. I'll kind of look around, make sure no one's like watching. And I pull out like the pendant that was on Starlost Twink, and I'll like put it in her hand. She's like, I found this on the body of the Starloss that we found.
Oh.
And I don't know what it is.
She takes it. Have you or Twink done anything with it?
Nope.
Holds it in her hand and just like, Opens her book. She reaches into a little pouch. She pulls out some stuff. She starts like sprinkling it over it and waves her hand over it while she says something. And there's like a shimmer. And you watch her like face contort for a second. And she's just like, And she like looks around the room. And then she looks at you and she's just like, no, I got nothing.
Nothing.
Maybe it's too complicated for me?
Right. That's alright. Thank you. And I'll like hold my hand out.
Of course, here.
I'll take it and I'll just pocket it again. How are you feeling after everything?
Oh, pretty tired. Pretty good. I mean, hey, we beat Twink.
We
Not
did.
Twink, other Twink.
Another Starlost failed.
Yeah. Pretty
Thank
good.
you for all of your help.
Oh, of course. I mean, you know me. Shooting spells. All about it.
Are you sure you're alright?
Yeah, of course.
Can I make an insight check?
Yes.
That's decent. That is. This is my third 17 this session. It's a
Oh my
14
God.
plus 3.
Her entire posture changed immediately upon identifying that thing, and she is the way she speaks has different. There's a different lilt in her voice, and she's sitting up way straighter than Alina normally does.
All right. Well, if anything bothers you or you start feeling unwell, let me know. All right.
Okay, yeah, sure. Thanks, Dolus.
Yeah. And I'll just kind of slowly get up and like start walking away, and then like I'll turn back to her, and then I'll just continue out of the
She like
room.
watches you go the entire way until you're fully out.
Okay.
Like she unblinking, unwavering, just watches you leave.
Cool. I leave the room unsettled, and I'll step out, and I'll wait like 10 seconds, and then I'll peek back in.
Make a stealth check.
Okay. Oh,
That's a good noise.
I did not roll another 17. That's a 5.
You go to like peek back in and you nudge the door and it makes a loud just hello.
Oh, hello. I was just I'll just leave. I don't finish my sentence, I just leave.
She's just like watching you till you close the door.
Okay. I'm gonna go find Twink.
Okay. You go to find Twink. He's upstairs, finishing up asking people if they're Vala.
Okay.
I think you just asked your last person if they're Vala, and they said no. And you're like, I got everyone. I know I asked everyone.
Any luck?
No.
Oh.
But I learned
Oh?
that Vala is not revealing they are Vala.
Yeah, okay. I figured they wouldn't.
Yeah, but we were assuming, and you can't leave anything, no unpredictables. So you need
true.
everything straightened out. So we've marked that off.
It's true, it's true. Twink. So I have a bit of an a predicament.
Bigger than the Vala predicament?
No, I don't think so. So you know that pendant that the other you had?
Yeah, the one I told you to leave behind because it can only be, a seed of destruction and hate.
Yeah.
Yeah, what about it?
So there might have been a miscommunication.
What was the miscommunication? What was heard that I said that I didn't say?
Well, it was maybe less of a miscommunication and more
Ignorance?
yes.
Yeah. Where is it?
I pull it out of my pocket. I had Alina she identified it.
Okay. What'd she say?
She said that it's nothing. And then she just sort of sat there staring at me.
Oh, Dolus. All right, well. I sit down. Give it here.
I give it to him.
I set it in front of me. And I start ritual casting Detect Magic.
Okay. He sits cross-legged and he's just holding it in front of him for a minute.
I set it down in front of me. I do not.
Oh, you set it down.
Yeah, I
not
set it
holding
down. Yeah.
He sets it and he's just Tweak is just pulls out his hammer, twirls it around, looks at it, closes his eyes every now and then. You sit there for like 10 minutes.
From him, kind of perched.
Wink. You detect, 1 second, double checking this. You immediately detect enchantment magic on this.
All right. Well, it's definitely magical, so she was lying.
Okay. What sort of magic?
It's an enchantment of some kind.
I will say you can tell it seems that there is some kind of effect on it that is actively happening. It seems like the magical object is active.
Yeah, and it appears. I mean, I'm shocked that you didn't have any effect, but seems like it's always active. It's not a attuned item. It's just a magic is just pulsing continuously.
When you so you're detecting magic, right?
Yeah.
How long can you see the magic for?
10 minutes.
If we went down, we could go down to see Elena to see if she's been enchanted by it.
Do you want to go down to see me? You turn, and Alina is standing there.
Yes. Exactly the person I wanted to see. Hello, Elena.
Hi.
Gulp.
Yeah, we're taking another look at this locket pendant.
Oh yeah, I couldn't identify it.
Yeah, well, it's definitely magical.
Oh, maybe I'm just not cut out for it.
Does he see enchantment on her?
Twink, you see a very distinct aura that matches the pendant surrounding Alina. And Twink,
Yeah.
make an Arcana check for me.
Sure, why not? It's a 17.
A lot of 17s.
It's a 9 plus 8. It's a little bit different of a 17.
It's fair. So, Twink, with your familiarity with Arcana, your familiarity with magic, and with your familiarity with this specific aura of magic, there's something incredibly familiar about the vibe coming off of Alina right now. And with that roll, can you make an investigation check with or an insight check with advantage?
Sure. $18.
The way she's standing, like her posture, the weird semi-smile she's giving you, and that vibe of magic, you've only ever seen one person who has all of the characteristics all slapped together. She's acting just like Kieran.
Yeah, perhaps you're not cut out for it.
Everything okay, Twink?
Yeah, I'm just... I think I might identify it myself.
Oh, yeah, that would be good.
Yep, sure would.
Then we know what it does.
Yeah, you're right. We would.
Dolus is just kind of sitting there, like looking between them, like just sensing this tension, just like, uh-huh.
She's just like, okay, well, I'll just, go get some food, I guess.
Make sure you check it for poison first.
We're checking it for poison?
Yes, make sure you do that.
Okay.
Wait, are you Vala?
Who?
Run along.
Okay, bye, Twink. Bye, Iliac.
Bro is
Turns,
rolling like crazy.
runs off. Just
I
turns
need
and
you to
walks
go-
off.
I need you to go get Mara right now.
Oh, okay. I'll get up and I'll like go. I'm following in that direction, but like not at a distance to where she would think I'm following her.
Okay.
I'm staying seated with the locket in front of me.
Yes, Twink, you watch her just walk all the way like downstairs. Dolus follows. Dolus She goes into the galley. You guys watch Alina come into the galley and just,
Hi.
Hey, Alina.
hi, Lotus. Hi, everyone. And just
Am I still in
the
there?
others at the table. Yeah.
Oh,
And then a bit after.
And then
comes
Dolus walks in
Dolus.
and like 10 seconds later, just, oh, hello again.
Hi, Mara.
yeah.
Come here.
Okay.
Come with me. I'll just.
What are we playing? She like sits down with all of you.
Poker.
Oh. When did you learn how to play poker?
I taught her.
Like a week ago. Yeah.
Oh.
By the way, Cry, I do cast Identify on that locket when they walk away.
Okay. With your spell slot, like immediately. It is a pendant of dominate person.
Fuck!
As soon as we're like out of earshot of the galley, I'm like, hurry, and I start sprinting up the steps.
You sprint away.
Okay.
You think it might be something with Valamara, so you're just like, oh, okay. You like run up. You find Tweak sitting there, staring at this pendant. Dolus like, panting next to him.
Is it some poison thing? What? Did we find her? What's that?
This is the pendant I told Dolus not to pick up and bring back with him. And now I'm pretty sure Alina is Kieran.
What?
Yes, no, this is a pendant of dominate person. Meaning that when she grabbed it, Kieran dominated her. And I don't know if you heard it, because it didn't seem like you did. She called you Iliac when she left.
I did not hear that. Even me as a player, I didn't hear that.
She
No, we
did.
know. We're aware.
I was
She
wondering
called
if
you
you-
Iliac.
That's why I'm telling
Yeah.
you.
I did what? I.
What
Can
are
that
we-
be? Can that be dispelled?
Well, that's why he's here.
Oh,
I need you to
Mara.
dispel magic on Alina.
I can do that.
In the meantime, I'm gonna destroy this.
okay. I'll come with Mara. We'll head back down the stairs.
I have a question. As they're doing that, where did Alina sit?
Alina would have sat across from you, like next to Hick.
I'll run down with Mara.
While you guys were all doing that,
Yeah.
downstairs in poker.
Hey.
Want to do me in?
Yeah, sure. Pick grabs the deck and shuffles, deals the new hands.
I haven't played poker in a while.
I was just finishing up telling them about how I died.
Oh gosh. Yeah, no, tell the whole tale.
Yeah. Well, I'm telling the whole tale again for like the third time today after I did it like 2 days.
Tell like a short version of the tale.
So I died and I saw basically God, and then I saw the void, and then I saw Kylie, and then I was alive again.
Dude,
Oh.
Hickory's like very subtly gesturing. He's like, stop talking.
Hickory, you have no idea that anything's weird's going on.
Time. I don't want her mentioning time.
Oh, time. Fair enough.
Yeah.
I said God.
Yeah, you're good. So she's kind of like, huh, like kind of just nodding her head, like,
Oh, seeing God is a lot, I'm sure. Probably pretty mind-blowing, I guess.
God looked like me.
God is a woman.
But, I mean, I guess there are a lot of gods, so that's not entirely out of possibility.
Uh-huh.
Like a whole pantheon.
How many gods are there? Because I know, like, you like, the
Bahamut, you're a cleric of Bahamut. Like to Hick.
yeah.
Oh, fun? No,
Yeah.
there
I
are
don't
gods.
really I don't really prescribe to any gods.
Neither do I. How many gods are in the pantheon? It's gotta be at least
Dozens.
4. Oh, that's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot, and then there's like lesser gods and greater gods, and
There are lesser
comp-
gods? And
Oh, yeah.
Wait, so there's like a tier.
there are like
list of
tiers.
gods.
Yeah.
Yeah, like lasagna.
This again?
Yeah,
Again.
Okay.
lasagna.
Oh. Okay.
She-
Yeah.
Mhm.
And Dolus, Mara was coming down, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Mara and Dolus, were you both coming down?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, the door opens and both of them are there. Just, oh, you're back already.
Do you want to play?
We're playing poker.
Yeah.
We haven't started the round yet. We can still deal you in.
Did you know there's a tier of gods and like there's like greater gods and lesser gods, Dolus?
I ignore her. I look at Mara.
I'm gonna walk like closer to Alina so I don't like miss.
Okay.
And
Miss.
I'm gonna cast Dispel Magic.
I need you to make a roll. I need you to make an ability check. Well, I guess, are you using your 5th level spell slot for this?
Yeah.
I still need you to make a roll.
Okay. What's the roll exactly?
It's your DC is 10 plus the spell's level.
10 plus a spell level.
Dominate person's 5th level, isn't it?
Yeah. 5th level is when you can start casting it. Doesn't mean it was cast at 5th level.
Isn't
If
magical
it's
item
an item,
enchantments? Yeah, magical item enchantments are always the lowest level. I'm pretty sure.
Are they always the lowest level?
Yeah,
They
pretty
are.
sure.
So it is 5th level. All right. You're casting Dispel Magic.
Mhm.
There is a strange hush over the room all of a sudden, as there is like a little whoosh of magic around Alina. All of you feel this strange sensation. And she blinks, and she has Kieran's glowy eyes. And she-
That's not right.
Oh.
I'm taking Kyle out and just aiming it at Alina.
You know, I'll admit, you got me. Oh. I called you by your name! Which leads looks at Dolus. Oh. Well, you win some, you lose some. Good to know Starlost Twink's dead, though. And then all of a sudden, like, just shudders. And just, like, gets blasted back into the wall as this, like, burst of starry mist like flies out of her mouth, and she just flops to the ground.
Hickory dashes over to her.
I'm jumping
Oh,
over the table with Kyle still aimed at her.
Wait.
Just.
Alina? Alina?
Yeah.
Are you okay?
It's magic, Dolus. The pendant's magic. I identified it. She like rolls over. She rolls over and sees Kyle right here, and she goes, "Oh God! Oh God! Please put that away."
Lotus, it's her. Lotus.
Puts Kyle away.
What the hell was that?
I'm so sorry. Dolus
What
kind of
happened?
falls to his knees. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
She like reaches out and just puts her hand on yours. She's like, "It's okay. It's okay."
You need some healing? You good?
No. I think I need to go throw up. She like rolls over and just like stumbles out the door. Twink, you're sitting there. You have destroyed the pendant with your hammer. It was very easy to do, actually. And then I assume you just tossed it away once it was destroyed.
Well, are we over ocean right now, or are we on land?
We're over trees.
Okay,
So-
yeah, I would have just, for the time being, probably put it, like wrapped it up in something so they couldn't physically touch anything and put it in my bag of holding.
Okay. But yeah, so you watch Alina like stumble up the stairs and go over to the railing, and it just immediately like over the edge.
Yep, that sucks.
Like go over the edge again.
Can't believe you fell for that.
It came from a trusted source.
Well, if you want to give him shit, I told him not to bring it.
Kieran's fucked up.
I'm confused why he didn't take Dolus. Or if he couldn't take Dolus.
I don't know. I don't really remember everything that happened. I'm just gonna be here for a bit. She like slumps against the railing.
Hey, are you Vala?
What? No, not Vala, and I'm not Kieran. I'm Alina, and I'm nauseous.
Okay.
Wait, who? What's the deal with Vala? Is she the elf?
Yeah.
Is she people now? Like Gillian? Not that she wasn't before. That sounded bad. That sounded bad.
I'll give you a pass because you're nauseous, you're not thinking straight, but come on now.
Okay.
Than that.
What the hell is up with Vala?
Well, we're pretty sure she's on the ship.
Okay, why is that a problem?
It's pretty sure she wants to kill us all.
Okay, that's a problem. Over the edge.
Probably me more than anybody. She owes me a lot of money.
Wait, is that what you're just going around asking people if they're Vala?
Yeah.
Well, she wants you dead?
Uh-huh. Gotta be pretty annoying having me right there not being able to do anything, right?
You're the leader of my fucking country. Twink, you know the definition of the word coup, right? Not saying because I'm gonna do one, I'm just saying because you should keep your guard up. Leading over the rail.
Come here. I'll cast Lesser Restoration on her.
You come up the stairs and cast it on her, and Mara joins you all, and she's just like, "Thank you, that feels much better."
Good job, Mara.
Yeah. That was spooky.
I'm down in the galley, and just like to Hickory and Lotus, just like, I didn't know
what happened. What happened?
After we killed the other twink, I checked his body for possessions, and I found a pendant of which Twink told me to leave behind, which I stupidly didn't leave behind, and I asked Alina to identify it for me, and it was apparently a pendant that fashioned by Kieran, maybe to dominate person. I think it was a spell.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
Mara just dispelled it.
So she got like possessed?
Yup.
You're
He was
not
at
there.
one.
Mara,
You're not
you
there.
at the same time.
You left
Twink
to
is on
go
the
help
top deck
Alina.
with Alina, and we're in the galley.
I thought she was like really close.
No, she's up at
She
top
ran
deck.
upstairs to throw up over the side of the ship.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wait, so who asked that? Cryo?
Frankie
What
or
voice was
Felix?
Felix or Frankie.
that?
Locke is just standing there in the back, like, with his kitchen knives.
I love that you said it's Felix or Frankie. Like, you don't know either.
You don't know which one it is.
Yeah. So it's like,
It was Frankie.
yes, Douglas just like sits there and like puts his head in his hands.
I'd like to reach over and just kind of pat his head.
Listen, Dolus, it's okay. But we can't be doing stuff like this without knowing what's going on. With everything going on.
Yeah, like with everyone. Yeah. Like, you should tell us about stuff. Yeah, like, we might get poisoned. Walk's like, they know! Why'd you tell them?
Because I didn't know why they couldn't know!
Who told you? He, like, points the knife at it.
The point is, we need to have an open line of communication. Because if we don't, people get possessed or poisoned.
Right. I wasn't thinking.
pat repeatedly on the head.
I'm unnoticing of it.
You're okay. All
I
right.
do. Now that I know, I was going to wait for tomorrow. Dolores grabs Lotus's hand and stops it. Just kind of like puts it and like pats her hand and like puts it back down like in her lap. I was going to wait for tomorrow because of everything that happened today, but I have something to tell everyone. We should all gather somewhere.
Like me,
Somewhere private.
me, you, Kick, Twink, Ara?
And Mara.
I'll
yes.
go get them. Dolus,
faster.
just
Zoom.
I guess it's me and you.
And us.
I just look at them.
I'm Frankie. I'm Felix.
Hello.
Is there any way we could
Frankie.
identify you two from each other?
Well, he's Felix and I'm Frankie.
Okay.
Does one of you have like a scar or something that's different?
No,
Birthmark.
no.
Maybe one of you could write the first letter of your name on your hand. Oh, wait, never mind.
I'm sorry, boys. We'll pick up the game another time.
That's fine. I got 3 aces up my sleeve. Bunch everything up. That would have been really funny because I had 2 aces up my sleeve. And then
We
I'd
were
walk
playing
out.
with my deck of cards.
I know. And then walk out.
She grabs her deck.
Cool. I'll wait for the group to reconvene.
Twink, Mara.
Yeah.
There's something Dolus has to tell us in private. So come here. Come.
Okay.
Go, Twink. I'm good. I got this.
I wasn't worried. I follow.
Don't puke all of your insides out. If you need food, Dolus has food for you.
Okay. Right.
Okay.
When I fill back up, it might be poison.
She doesn't even hear that. She's gone.
Yep.
I assume we're moving to the sleeping quarters, Kay.
Is there anyone else in the galley?
Let's just walk. Now that
Frankie
Felix and Frankie
Felix.
left.
Oh, they
I'll
left.
just
They left.
All right. That's
Yeah, they
fine.
got up and left.
Yeah.
You
I'll
wanted
stay.
privacy. They're nice people.
I
Okay.
appreciate it.
So, you had something to tell us?
Okay. As everyone gathers,
Everyone gathers.
I'll get up and like I'll sit at a table. Again, I'll repeat. I wanted to wait for tomorrow to give everyone a bit of respite from the war. But with the scare we just had, I don't feel comfortable keeping anything from anyone right now. On the day before the battle ensued, I went to the tree, the large one in the lake. And tried to send a message to Archibald because, Lotus had done it the day before, and I figured I would just try and give him some words of mine. And when I let go, I had my hand on the tree, and when I let go, I had a vision. Everything went black, and I turned around and I saw Iliac. I didn't know if it was an illusion or whatnot, and when I tried shooting at him, the vision changed, and I was in a cell, I think. It felt so familiar, but I had no idea where I was. Across from me, Lotus was there, chained up to a wall. And it felt like I was forgetting something dangerous, something important. And then I looked to my ring, and it started shaking and shattered. And then I was back in front of the tree. I didn't feel it pertinent to tell everyone before we went to war, as I didn't want any sort of extra weight on anyone's shoulders. But that's what I saw, and I don't understand it.
I think I do.
What do
You do?
I think you saw your Starlost version's memories.
Really?
When I was talking to other Twink, he told me that he was chained up and caged for weeks, tortured, until he gave in to the power. And I think the same thing happened to all of us. Of other us. That's why you saw Lotus chained up on the wall. That's why you were chained up in a cell. Starlost Twink told me Iliac was the first one to break. He thinks it was for his sister. And that's why we encountered him first.
I see.
I think maybe now that Iliac died, perhaps his essence or whatever, maybe it's combining with you again, and maybe you'll gain his memories. Maybe I'll see the same thing soon with Twink.
Lotus kind of concerned, like grabs hold of Dolus's sleeve and just, are you gonna be okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay.
It was just, I just didn't understand. The Starlost version of me, if those were his memories, he seemed, when we saw him, so angry and so vengeful, but
Would you not be angry if Lotus was chained up on a wall next to you, tortured, and you had to watch it day in, day out for weeks?
I would be, but that's not the emotions I felt from those memories were fear.
Yes. Tends to happen when you get tortured.
Hickory's gonna start reaching in her bag for some stuff.
Okay.
Cryo, for your context, I'm grabbing everything necessary for divination.
Sick.
So
There's no way to know. There's no way to know. It's all speculation, of course, but I was told but a very similar story from Twink of what happened to him. It's exactly like that.
Right, that makes sense.
What if we could know?
What?
I think it's a dumb question to ask. I think we should just know. If we could know, we should know.
What are you doing, Hickory? What is all this?
I'm sure you've heard Doc ramble about it a few times, or at least, I mean, you heard me at the tree. What if I can ask time to show what happened?
I don't know if that's safe. Didn't you mention it's not safe to do anything with time?
That's why I'm using my own magic. Because at the very least, he could maybe tell us. It's not as strong, I guess.
What are you trying to do exactly?
Mara, you recognize all the stuff for divination, having done it twice in the last 2 days.
I could do that too, actually. I've
What
already
did you
talked.
ask?
Well, the first one I talked to was remember our big Leviathan friend that gave me my new powers.
Yeah.
He's the one who told us about the wolf to be defeated at 12. But the second person I talked to was Dolus' patron.
What?
You talked to Kylie?
I tried to get her help
Oh,
while you flew off.
What happened?
She told me she already took care of it.
so,
Dolus looks down at his wrist.
I may have, you know, and it,
Dolus Lotus explained all this to you already.
Yeah.
And then she explains it to all of you now, the full rundown of how time saved her and the time loop.
I'm really glad Walk is getting this expedition done.
Walk is just sitting here peeling potatoes like...
The most horrified look on his face.
Mara, who would you ask?
Should I talk to Kylie again?
No offense, Kylie might not be strong enough.
Dolus, you also remember the last time you tried to ask her about Iliac, she had no idea what was going on.
Right. She wouldn't know. I think if we were to ask, we should... If you're going to ask time, you should wait.
Why?
Wait until it's... Because we don't know if this is safe.
Right. And she pulls out a book and the pen or quill or whatever technology actually exists at this point.
Quill?
Yeah, a pen and quill. From what I remember of Doc's memories, time can be really particular. So we can't miss. I need to know all of your full names so that I can be as specific as possible.
But you weren't asking time. Isn't that what we just said? Did we not just say we shouldn't ask time?
Writing them down for later.
What are you going to...
We could do it now. He can do it. I point at Mara.
No, so the reason Dolus is concerned is because time can't do anything right now, or things will mess up. Not that Hickory can.
Yeah, because time said not to do any time shit for, like, however many hours.
Yeah. I'm gonna wait, but having this information at the ready is the best move possible.
But he can do it now. Keep pointing at Mara. Like, he can ask now.
Then have him ask something.
Mara, who are you asking? Or do you just want to throw it out into the ether and see what catches it?
Let's have some fun. Throw it out there randomly.
You're just gonna throw it where it...
Mara turns
Let's
into
roll on the
Kieran.
god table.
Are you doing the full... Are you ritual casting, or are you just casting?
I'm gonna ritual cast it.
Okay.
Okay, we all sit around a table for 10
You're all
minutes.
sitting tensely for 10 minutes. Mara, you're doing your full run of like 10 minutes.
While this is happening.
I was gonna say while he's casting. Wait, what is he going to ask?
He should probably ask, because you guys said you jumped a month, right?
Uh-huh.
Ask what happened to your other yous. That's why we need your full names. And if we're lucky, whatever God answers will tell us both answers, which is you guys blinked and showed up wherever you showed up, and the other you didn't.
Might be a little hard.
It's okay. We can just do me for now, just to see if we're going to get any sort of answer.
While Hickory's talking, she's writing down, like, she's trying to write down as many details as she can so she can be as specific as possible.
With time. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Mara, you finishing your ritual cast?
Can ask like what happened to Iliac during the month that we disappeared or whatever.
Okay.
Just because like we talked about like what
During the month they disappeared into the future, right?
Yeah.
Well,
a month
yeah.
they were gone.
Well, not into the because we went
They were
somewhere
gone
else.
a month.
Yeah, we disappeared.
All right. Mara finishes, and there's little wisps of wind around him. And he opens his eyes, and they're glowing this really deep golden brown. And a voice is just like, "Oh, the Aarakocra. What was the Aarakocra? Nothing, actually. Iliac, you say?" Like Mara's saying all this out loud. Trapped elsewhere. That's all I can see. Of course, I could always show more. No, not now. And then there's just a vroom, and Mara's back.
What did you reach out to?
Who the hells was that?
Do I know what I reached out to?
No, you have no idea.
I threw it to the wind. They didn't give me much.
Threw it to the...
Okay,
I
well,
don't know why they said not now.
Some gods are fickle.
A little bit.
most gods are fickle, I think.
Tenseeker, like, she points over at Twink.
I was gonna say before that, Dolus, Lotus, as that energy like ebbs off of Mara. Dolus, the green on your hands glows for a moment, and Lotus, you feel a tingle in your wings, and you look, and the black burnt patches kind of boom, and a few pieces flake off, and there is green skin underneath.
That's... Huh.
Lotus is kind of itchy as you poke it.
Like, am I still glowing?
No, it goes away, like, immediately. It's like a little boom past you.
From my knowledge of, flying for the entirety of my life, do I know if this screen will affect my flying at all?
No.
No, she doesn't know, or no, she knows it won't affect her.
She knows it will not affect her.
Okay. Say no can mean two
It's
different
those
things.
those already burnt patches are just now turning green slowly.
Okay, well, that's, something, I suppose. What just happened?
Dolus, my wings are green.
No, I see that, yes.
Dolus, this happened when we went to the Feywild, right?
Yes.
That was the first time it really turned green.
When Arlashna, she, cast something on me, and I drank some tea, and, then my arm started flaking off.
So... Twink... Do you think this could be related to the planes?
What specifically? My greenness?
Yeah. Do you think
No.
it's when you interact with other planes of magic?
No. Because neither of them interacted. It was that one.
Yeah. 10 secret, right? 2 E's.
3 E's.
I was making sure it wasn't an EA situation, but okay. She writes down Twink's last name.
We're gonna take a momentary break because I think Ray has to move. Or oh wait, no, you're in your room, aren't you? Oh my god!
We're not gonna take a break.
I saw you talking to someone at the door, and I thought it was time. It was 9:30.
It was time.
What is time? Yeah, I was
It's
like, what is time?
Yeah. Someone knocked on
The
our
time-space continuum breaks. It's not been enough time yet.
door. Open the door, it's Lotus.
You really wanted to talk to us through divination.
God, man.
My mom
All right,
was
we're
just
not-
checking in on me.
Okay, cool. We're not taking a break then.
Cool.
As you guys compare all of your notes and considerations, Twink.
Anyways, I'm gonna go to bed. And I get up and I go to bed.
Good night.
Yes.
Should we wait? Twink, come back. Should we, if Vala is on this ship and she is
Oh,
murderous?
very good point. I got it. Don't worry. Taking care of it. I'll walk out.
So,
Well,
for all of us?
I was going to ask if we should take watches.
I've already left.
He's gone.
I've already left.
Okay, well, the rest of us, should we take watches to make sure none of us get poisoned or killed in our sleep?
Yeah, all I really have to do is trance. So
I'll take first.
I can take most of the watch.
Hey, Cryo.
Uh-huh.
Roughly, would I be able to remember what time told me to not fuck with shit?
He said like 12 to 15 hours. So
But when?
tomorrow morning you'll probably be good.
Okay.
But
It's okay. I'll take the first watch. I can't sleep right now. I'll wake you up in a few hours, and then you can wake Mara, and Mara can do the rest of the watch.
Do you
Just
want
he
me to
doesn't
stay
sleep.
up with you?
I can stay with him. I've got things to think about.
Okay, I'll take second.
Sleep well, Lotus.
Okay. Wait, are we going? Am I sleeping? I'm a little bit too excited to sleep.
Excited
What do
by
you
what?
There's so many like magic thingies happening, and like there's so many, all the things that happen today. So I'll
And
go
a
bed.
long one.
Okay. And then I'll
Alright.
get up and start going to
Twink.
the quarters.
what are you doing?
I'm gonna go knock on Lorelei's door.
Oh god! Oh, god. You knock on Lorelei's door.
I thought about just walking in. But then I thought twice.
The door opens like a crack and Lorelei just like leans her head out and she's like, "What?
I want to make you safe.
What the fuck does that mean?
Get in the fucking room.
What? Like I like
And
close the
oh,
door.
yeah. No, and I walk in.
You try and walk in and she holds the door shut and she's like, no.
Do you want to be safe or not?
Use your words. What's happening?
I'm gonna set a trap.
In my room?
Yes, because if she comes to fucking kill you, she's gonna set it off.
Give me like 2 minutes and the door closes.
God.
You hear some
He acts
muttering
like I
and
don't know
everything.
she's sleeping with Illis.
And finally the door opens again after like a minute and a half. She's in like just a long like shirt, like one of her big down shirts, and she goes, "Come in."
Start pulling a rope out of my bag of holding.
What is this?
Anyone who needs to leave should leave now because they won't be able to after this door closes.
Twink, it's just me in here. You hear like you hear
one
a-
will be
yeah.
leaving.
You hear a sigh under the bed, and like the blanket folds over, and it's just Illis like holding the blanket up to here, and she's just like, "What? What are you doing?"
Are you staying the night?
She looks at Lorelei. Lorelei looks at Twig. She's like, "You're gonna put me on the fucking spot like this?
Well, do you want to fucking die?
You can stay the night." Okay, she just pulls the blanket back over herself.
All right. Well, I start casting snare.
All right. You cast snare.
I
You set it up.
I set it in front of the door.
You set it up in like a rectangle so that it covers the entire door and anything has to step in it or will be snared. Lorelei like watches you do it all and she goes, "So how long does this last?"
You got 8 hours.
Right. That'll... Fair enough. Okay. Well, thank you. How are you gonna get out now?
Like this, and I jump over it.
Make a dex check.
I love that face.
That's not terrible.
What is it?
13.
Uh-oh.
You make a jump, and you totally think you're gonna make it, and you look down, and you are definitely gonna be like a foot short. And you have a moment of like, "Oh shit!" And then you feel someone just...
No,
you
I
cast...
cast Featherfall.
You cast Featherfall, and you just whoom, and you start going slowly, and Lorelei just pushes you out the door. And you're like, "Ugh," and you land just safe.
Whew.
Go to bed.
Don't step on that for 8 hours.
Reaches over, grabs the door, and closes it. And you hear the latch like lock.
How did she latch that?
Commitment.
Big
right,
dick
Mr.
energy.
Sword.
Flexibility.
I'm tired.
You go to bed. We're doing watches.
Heyo.
I will not be taking a watch.
No.
No.
Dolus first, Lotus second, and then Mara. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Hickory's gonna stay with Dolus during
Okay.
first watch.
Okay.
So, I will just have you all make perception checks now.
Can I use my passive?
No.
But is it it's like if do you?
I
There's a
will
high chance
say
you roll lower than your passive, isn't there?
it's almost guaranteed, but you might roll higher. You know that if you roll lower, then we'll just use your passive. I do that all the time.
Using my passive.
Sick.
Do we
Got a
roll with
dirty
advantage?
20.
Do we have one of us roll an advantage?
Both of you roll.
Okay.
I got a 16.
Okay.
I got a 13.
Okay.
Mara.
Lotus?
Oh, Lotus said she's using her passive. She
Oh, yes, 22. Mara?
Oh, I thought we were... Okay. Passive.
Dolus, Hick, your watch goes off without a hitch. You're hanging out in the crew chamber, just kind of making sure everybody's good to sleep. Take a walk every now and then. A lot of the elves are still kind of milling about. They're elves. They just have to train. They're kind of relaxing. So you do like
some of the time I'll like lay down and like lay in like a position where I'm sleeping, but like my eyes are still open. Just see if anyone approaches my bed or
Lotus
Dolus.
is in your bed.
Lotus is in my bed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you lay in Lotus's bed?
Like
No.
she has enough room for you. Like, you know.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm laying in my bed.
Okay. Bundle up next to Lotus. At one point, Hick, you kind of have your guard up as a figure approaches as Dolus's bed, but then you recognize that it's Alina, and she just kind of like nudges Dolus. She's like, "I know you're awake.
I open my eyes fully.
I wanted to say that you don't have to feel bad about earlier, okay?
Oh, I feel extremely bad.
No, but don't. Everything's okay. I'm okay. Besides, that spell only lasts for like A few hours at most. What's the worst that Kieran could do for like a few hours? Okay,
Jump off the ship.
you know that's true. Don't. But look, we're good. Nothing bad happened. I just got tossed around a little nauseous. Everything's fine. Just, it's okay. She like pats you again. She like gives her hand a little squeeze. And she's
I'll
to
squeeze
bed.
it back and just nod. Sleep well.
No poison. And she gets into bed, closes her little curtain.
Hickory at some point during shift just spaces out a little bit. Kind of has a conversation with Doc because communication has been panicked lately.
You guys just chat about the Kalashtar and everything that's been going on. You have a bit of an emotional powwow over the fact that your summon Celestial is your fucking dad.
Yeah. And, I mean, for the most part, she just kind of, she double checks her notes. And as her shift finishes, she is not going to put the book back in her bag. She's going to leave it next to the bed.
Okay. Like visibly next to the bed, out in the open?
Okay, more along the lines to, like, toward the wall. Like, it's just not going to be on her person. Kind of wedges it between the mattress and the wall
Okay.
itself.
Like you're
Yeah.
like hiding it a little in your little cubby thing.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
As our shift, like, as Dolus is like starting to fade, like he just kind of like go, like kind of nudges Lotus a little in the bed. Lotus, it's your watch.
This is my turn. Okay, it's my turn.
Okay.
She sits up. Or she, like, not really sits up, but more, like, lays over Dolus and, like, switches spots with him.
Okay. Just roll over.
Lotus. The first, like, hour of your watch goes off fine. Bunch of the elves come in to go to sleep. A lot of them are getting set up in weird places because there's not enough beds for everybody. There were definitely enough beds for a lot of them because you have such a small crew for a big ship. No, you did it off screen. It's fine. And so you guys get all set up, and you're just waiting, looking around. And at one point, you see like a shadow pass just out of the corner of your eye out in the hallway.
And I'll look back at Dolus. Look back towards.
Dolus is like clocked, like
I had like my sketchbook and like a crayon in one hand. Gonna put it down, pick up Kyle. Then walk towards the door.
you get down, you walk towards the door. And you come around a corner. And you see there up against just a barrel. Like a long tail, kind of like snaking around the barrel. A fluffy one. You're, what the hell? And you get a little closer to investigate. And as you grab it, you hear and a cat just
I'm sorry.
Look through my pockets to see if I have anything. Only realize I only have taffy.
That's not good for a cat, right?
It's like all hunched up in the corner hissing at you. You say hi and it just goes
Just kind of sit there, keeping my distance. Like,
What are you doing here?
It is just sitting there in that corner, like horrified. It's a really pretty, like it's like a void cat. It's like a black cat with like yellow eyes. Eventually, after like 10 minutes of sitting there, it finally like unpuffs and just sits there staring at you.
I pull up the cat
You
toy.
really loudly, and it's like
I pull up the cat toy.
the cat toy from Shoes. Yeah, you pull
That
up
I
a cat
got from
toy.
Socks's bag.
You jingle it, toss it out on its little string, and the cat's like, ah! Bip! Bip, bip! Bip, 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 bip! Bip, 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 like it's trying desperately to get this little toy. It's you play with this cat. You
play
just sit
with the
there
cat.
playing with the cat. You have a good time playing with the cat for like 20 minutes. So a solid chunk of time has gone by.
Eventually, high fantasy, y'all.
Playing with a cat.
All I'm gonna say is you're supposed to be all watching. You're distracted by a cat at the moment.
We're
Oh,
all
yeah.
dead. We're all dead.
Good job.
It's fine.
Lotus, I think, eventually will want to see if she is able to pet the cat.
Make an animal handling check.
Why do I feel like she's good at those?
What is that? That's 20. Holy shit. 23.
That's 20. Holy shits. 23. You managed to eventually, through a lot of time and effort, and you finally touch the cat, and it's like, like it does a little flinch, but it doesn't move. It's like gnawing on the toy at that moment as you give it a few little pets.
Scooch. Scooch. Oh shoot, I was supposed to be watching my friends. Cat.
How long are you know, actually? Okay.
I miss Shoes!
A solid chunk of time passes.
Gonna
And
miss
as
all your
you're-
friends when they die.
As you're getting you start to get tired, and you process that, like, since you started playing with this cat, because you were already like an hour into your shift when you saw the cat, and then you spent like 10 or 15 minutes getting adjusted before you started like petting and playing with it. You are definitely like 45 minutes over shift at this point.
Was my trance basically over by then?
Your trance ends like I'll say it took you a little bit to get into trance when you first started resting. So you wake up and you're like, that trance went on a little longer than I think it should have. And then you look and Lotus isn't there.
I'll I'll get up and like peek out the door. Like,
Lotus
kinda
is sitting
wary.
there playing with a cat.
Mara.
Were you watching us?
Yes.
Inside check.
I'm gonna be honest.
Wait,
you-
my passive insight is 19.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm like, you don't need an insight check. That was a bold-faced lie. Also, we've established before that Lotus is bad at lying. So she's just like, yes, I was.
You're lying.
Maybe. I made a friend.
Could have brought the cat inside.
I'm scared that if I pick her up, she's gonna, like, bite me.
I could talk to her.
Can you?
Yeah.
Mara, are you gonna like step out of the sleeping quarters?
No, I'm gonna step back in and ritual cast.
All right, to not scare the cat. It's good.
Yeah,
Good
speaking
job.
with animals.
Yeah. You take the 10 minutes to ritual cast. Lotus, you continue to play with the cat. Mara, you cast speak with animals.
Your long rest. God damn it.
All right, what do you want me to ask it?
Will it cuddle with me while I sleep?
Hi, cat. I don't know what your name is, but she's attached to you. She really likes you. Would you like sleep in the same bed, kind of cuddle together? You'd probably be pretty warm with her. She has nice feathers.
It's a kind of a deep voice responds to you, just like, yeah.
You got the approval.
Can you tell it I'm sorry for grabbing it earlier?
She's really sorry for grabbing.
That's okay.
You're good.
Okay.
Go to bed.
Will it follow me, or can I pick it up, or?
It kind of trots over past Mara's leg into the sleeping quarters.
Okay, good night.
Lotus runs after it, goes to bed, cuddled up with a cat. Mara,
Lotus is
you
bed.
begin your 4-hour watch, 3.5 hour watch.
Mm.
And as the sun comes up, you all are getting your long rest.
Yeah.
Everybody hit the button.
Yeah.
What, Kay?
Do I wake up to a cat in my face?
No, actually. Lotus, Dolus, you wake up. And Dolus, Lotus is all cuddled up, like, faced away from you. And Lotus, as you wake up, there is not a cat with you any longer.
What?
I saw a cat last night, and it's not here anymore.
Did it walk past?
Is it in your bed?
Yeah.
Mara, you did not see a cat go past you at any point.
Mm.
You brought a cat to bed?
Yeah. I saw a kitty cat, and I played with it.
You played with a kitty cat?
Yes, and then Mara talked
How
to me.
long?
I was really sleepy by the time I stopped. And then I brought it to bed.
Lotus,
Yes?
where were you playing with this cat?
Over there.
Over where?
Pointing towards the door.
Lotus.
Mm-hmm.
So, when I say that we are taking watches, that means that you stay here.
Oh, do I have to
And you-
actively watch you guys?
From nearby, out of a bunk, Dolus, you just hear, "It's okay, we got you." You look over, and it's Felix, just like,
What?
"Oh, yeah, no, figured the kid wouldn't do her watch. She's like a kid. I don't know why you gave her a watch." He, gets out of bed. He's putting on his shirt, actively, and he's like, "Yeah, no, so we woke up. We watched."
Oh, thank you.
"Yeah."
It's very kind of you. Which one are you?
The other sheet opens, and Felix is like, "Hey, you'll figure it out one day."
You should wear one of you should wear red clothing and the other one wear blue
Wait,
clothing.
I got it. I'm gonna
What?
pull out my painter supplies. I'm gonna
Don't
make a
paint-
red dot on Felix's nose.
If she
What do you-
goes to put a dot, I'm gonna grab her wrist. Don't paint on people.
You
Lotus.
go to grab her wrist, and the thing still goes forward, and instead of a dot, he gets a and he's like, "Ah."
Lotus.
Could have been a lot more graceful if you didn't stop me.
Stop! Don't paint on people.
Can I paint on you?
You already did now. It's too late to ask now.
I'm gonna go wash. He just walks out.
Okay.
You got paint all over their face.
The other twin also walks out. Twink, you wake up. Hickory, you wake up. Still Hickory.
Oh, 2 in a day. 2 in a row. Let's go.
Poggers.
The ship is stopped.
Oh.
You all notice the distinct lack of motion.
Why aren't we moving?
I have to go check my Vala trap, and I start running up the
You
steps.
you run up the steps. You rush out, and you're sort of blinded briefly by the bright light. And you look out, and you are in a city,
What?
surrounded by trees and all of these buildings built onto the side of a river, on sort of stilts. You are in a city, seemingly still in the Westwood.
Where?
You're all heading up, I imagine, at some point.
In the room, I'm like, do you think we made it to Twinktania? Either those artisans and artificers move very fast, or we are not at Twinktania.
All the elves are already sort of moving, it seems. Everybody's taking stuff off of the ship and loading other things on. Twig, you run up, and Lorelei is at the helm as you, run up, and she's like, 8 hours. Stepped in it first thing this morning. It didn't snare me.
Right?
So either it never worked, or good job.
No, it was over.
Well, yeah, that's why I said either it never worked or good job.
Oh no, it worked.
Okay, well, yes. All's well.
Where are we?
We're in Riverbend. And no, the elves don't have creative names.
Oh, because it's like...
Yeah,
Okay.
this is where the river that leads to Sanctuary meets with the ocean. We're dropping off the refugees and then we're leaving. No, we're not exploring. She points at all of you.
I don't want to.
I'm tired of exploring.
Okay, good, because this city's boring as fuck.
Is it?
Hickory's just in her, the jacked up dress and her, slacks from her old outfit. And she's like, are we... Okay.
Are there no shops here or anything?
She
No.
just said we can't explore, Mara.
You want to go meet some fishermen and get left behind while we go to Twinktania? I'm fine with that.
Not really. That sounds boring. You were right. I'm going back.
You go back down.
I'm
Bye,
going to follow
Mara.
after Mara.
Alright.
It should only take us a day, right? 1 day's travel. I mean, as fast as our boat is.
Day and a half. Something like that. We're not far from Falcon's Point here, actually.
Right. Do you think we could make a pit stop by where we parked the first time?
Absolutely not.
No, God, no.
Okay.
Okay.
Twink, Illis, or Lashna, she gestures down to the dock where the two of them are organizing stuff. Wanted to talk to you and your band of fucking misfits.
They're your band too.
I'll lean into to where the stairs are. Lotus, Mara, come back.
We just hear, okay.
Mara,
If I
what
don't-
do you...
If I don't get a response from Lorelai, I say it again. They're your band too.
Shut up. Stop reminding me.
Stop.
Stop reminding me.
Stop.
Mara, what are you doing? Are you coming back up also, or are you?
Yeah, I was just gonna go back to the room.
Yeah,
Twink,
you
chill.
Twink calls you though.
Yeah.
I was
just go back.
following down after
Alright.
him. And
You guys turn back around to join Twink on top deck.
Mara, did you see
Yeah.
where the black cat went last night?
Didn't walk past me.
What? I woke up and it wasn't there.
You wanna look?
I know.
Let's ignore them real quick. They can wait.
Okay, we look really quick.
Like a minute later, Lotus and Mara come up, having not found any sign of the black cat.
Did you get lost? What happened?
The cat.
What cat?
There was a little cat.
Lotus apparently
It's
brought a
cute.
cat to my bed.
Had a really
How did a
deep voice.
cat get on a flying ship?
I don't know, but it's not there anymore.
Lorelai, do you have a cat?
No. No, I don't. The only pets I have are you.
Okay, well, ow. Secondly, do you think Vala turned into the cat?
Yes, I think Vala turned into the fucking cat.
Lotus,
To be-
you brought
hey,
a...
Dolitz, to be fair, she thinks everyone is Vala right now.
That's a valid point that he makes. It could be any one of you.
It's true.
I miss Mr. Kitty.
Okay,
Mr. Kitty might have been trying to kill us.
Mr. Kitty might have been Vala.
It was fluffy.
Okay. Lotus, please don't bring any more stray animals into our beds.
Okay.
Yes,
Especially
can't
ones
trust
that
anything in our
randomly
room.
appear and disappear.
We have to purify everything in our room, don't we?
What? I don't... Okay.
The master
Anyways.
poisoner might have been a... whatever.
That's gonna go talk to Arlashna and Illis.
Yeah.
Arlashna immediately on seeing you is just like, hello! Good to see you up.
Morning.
You woke up the next day.
Yes. Yes, I did.
Good morning.
I wanted to make sure you were all up before the ship took off so that I could say my farewells.
Wait, what?
You're leaving?
Yes.
Goodbye.
Thank you for being so accepting of my decisions, Twink.
You're your own person.
Illis and I are staying here in Riverbend. We are going...
Goodbye. Oh, wait a minute, Illis.
She just rolls her eyes. We're going to help with the refugees that are coming in through the forest.
Oh yeah, what do you want me to do about the ones that are in Twinktania?
We'll start trying to get them back here through transport via plants over time.
Lotus runs up to Arlashna in the middle of her sentence, just kind of like hugs her around the waist, like,
Oh. She just is like patting you on the head as she continues to talk to Twink, and she's like, I'll be in touch plenty. I'll even visit. After all, my summer home is now situated firmly on the northeastern corner of your island.
Hickory, like, sleepily comes over and, like, really weakly hugs around both of them and is just like,
Yeah,
I'm sorry I broke your dress.
it's fine.
Do you have tea? I'm tired.
No.
Oh.
Thank you, Arlashna. And Illis. Thank you both for everything.
Y'all done a lot for us.
Don't worry, it's not goodbye forever. It's probably not even goodbye for 2 days. We'll be popping into Twinktania to helping with refugees, but just
So we'll see you guys when we go to Twinktania?
not sure when. You'll see us for sure if you spend more than a week there.
Okay, so within 10 minutes and 7 days. Yeah? Phyllis, come hug.
I don't do hugs.
Yeah, Hickory, like, lightly taps her hand. It's just, it's okay.
Don't
If-
touch me.
If you hear anything back from your sources about the bodies,
Yes, of course. For now, thank you all. All you've done.
Before you head off,
Mm-hmm.
I have a request. Any way you could find out if Vala's around here?
She reaches into, like, nowhere space. And like a cartoon character pulling out an item, her orb just appears.
Oh,
And she...
I could have done this.
Oh, yeah? She...
I pull out the mirror. I could have.
Just... Have you not been using that?
I used
What is
it once.
that?
You could use it every day. I gave it to you like a week and a half ago.
What is
what
it?
is it?
Fair, I couldn't use it yesterday.
Boom! I can't see her. Ugh. She's still on your ship somewhere. That's all I can get.
Start running up with the mirror. I start running up to the ship.
How much stuff isn't he telling us?
Goodbye, Twink. That's a scrying mirror. I gave it to him and Socrates. I assume Socrates didn't tell anyone else before Socrates died.
No,
I don't-
that's the first time we've seen that.
I don't think
Yeah,
I told him anything else or given him anything else that's pertinent to all of you.
it's really bad at telling us stuff.
Yeah, maybe you should... I don't know what you can do about that,
Talk
honestly.
to him about it?
Only
You-
him things.
I'll make sure to not tell just him anything anymore. You might want to tell everyone else that also.
Okay. Thank you again, Arlashna. And thank you, Illis. I wish you both well.
If you get there before me, check on Petrin.
Okay.
Okay.
Alashna looks down at Lotus and is like, you have to let go now. You can keep my dress.
Okay. It takes a few.
The
seconds.
scattered remains of it, at least. The burnt, scalded, scattered remains of it.
It was
Go
nice
back
meeting
onto
you.
the ship.
Good to meet you as well.
Good luck.
Now,
You went 2 minutes to 7 days.
yes. Go home. Go see what Twinktania's become in a week. An island of nothing but artificers and wizards. I can't even imagine.
We're gonna have a new ice home soon enough.
Ooh. You guys head back onto the ship. Then, after all the elves are unloaded, ship takes back off, leaving Erlashna, Illis, and all the refugees behind. You're back down to the regular crew. And then, and
And
Vala.
Vala.
And I will
Oh,
say,
shit.
despite all of your best attempts, for the next day and night into the next following day, none of you can find Vala. But out of the corner of your eyes, every now and then, you all spot a black cat. And that is where we are going to end our session today.
That
As
fucking
you are
kid.
flying into Twinktania the next day.
Yay.
Back home, baby.
Woo!
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Do we get a second long rest?
If you want, then yeah.
Mara needs it. He's the only one who cast a spell after waking up.
Hell yeah.
I ritual cast.
Yeah.
True,
Oh,
he didn't
it's
burn a
true.
slot.
Well,
That ended up being a little longer.
a little.
The hunt for Vala went on a bit, was quite intensive.
Mhm.
What did
Also-
you think was gonna happen?
Well, here's the thing. I didn't expect the pendant thing to happen quite so immediately.
Yeah.
That definitely
Yeah.
added a chunk of time into the middle there, but hey, we'll deal with the repercussions of all of this some other time. Maybe next week, Monday at 5 p.m. Eastern, if anybody wants to come look. It's almost like we do this as a show or something.
Almost.
Like, comment, subscribe. If you want to get alerts, you can go to our Discord. You could sign up for our Ko-fi and get the episodes early on Fridays, as well as a bunch of other cool stuff. And you could also hit that bell so that you get notifications. So, there's all sorts of options. Maybe next week we'll find Vala. And you'll get to see Twinktania. So,
Yeah.
goodbye, everybody. Everyone wave and say goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, goodbye.